Well, you see it for yourself. We got college football tonight. Why not? Thursday's slate for you. Central Michigan, of course, 21.5 underdogs, maybe the largest slate this weekend when it comes to Oklahoma State there at 7 p.m. Eastern against the Cowboys. And then we get the backyard brawl, West Virginia taking on Pitt, that one at 7 as well. VMI traveling a little south to take on 22nd ranked Wake Forest at 7:30. And then the Big Ten not wasting any time to get busy at 8 o'clock. You got Penn State taking on Purdue. That should be interesting when it comes to that conference. All right, always suited and booted, the star of the playbook, my guy Emory Hunt here. And glad to see he's in a different suit than last week, something we haven't seen here. You're here to give us the picks, and no shade at all. So let's just get to it because I don't want to hear anything you got to say except for what you got to tell me on these games. So let's start here with Ball State at Tennessee. This will be the first ever meeting between the two programs. What's your play in this one?
It might be the last meeting because if you're Ball State, you don't want to see this up-tempo offense in the second year under Josh Heupel. So I know it's a big spread. I'm laying the points with Tennessee. They have a lot going for them this year. Again, like I said, second year in the system. Hendon Hooker is one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC, and they have a really good defense. Their front seven is going to be excellent this year. They're going to get a lot of stops. They're going to get a lot of 3-and-outs. And unfortunately for Ball State, while they have some really good skill players, they're breaking in a new quarterback. So all signs point to leaning into this heavy spread for the Volunteers.
West Virginia and Pittsburgh, first game between these two in almost 11 years. Last one, 2011. New QBs on both sides here. How are you looking at this one?
First of all, it's a great uniform matchup. I love the new uniforms. West Virginia's debuting in this ball game. Pitt going with the classics. Big fan of the aesthetic look here tonight. But I'm taking West Virginia in the points. I feel like with a young and experienced offensive line, they started a lot of young guys last year, but now those guys are sophomores. They're experienced. I know Pitt has a very good offensive line, but I feel like Keaton Slovis is a little bit overrated. So when you have a defense that West Virginia will bring to the table with Steele at defensive tackle, getting that interior pressure, I feel like this will be a lot closer. And like you mentioned, Brandon, they haven't played in 11 years. So you throw in the rivalry factor. 7.5 points to me seems like a lot. So take West Virginia in the points here.
Keaton Slovis, by the way, if you go on Twitter, kind of buying into the hype there, sharing his 2 cents how he feels about these two being in that backyard brawl. All right, how about Louisiana taking on Missouri there? The Tigers, 20-point favorites.
Listen, La Tech is breaking in a new coach. They're breaking in a new quarterback. And I feel like Missouri's back seven is so strong. They're going to be really good up front, stopping the run, but that back seven is really where they really bring pressure. Their strong safeties come down and affect the passing game, they affect the run game. I just worry about Louisiana Tech's young offensive line going up against a very good, improved defense. And on offense, their offensive line is really good as well. So, yeah, they lose Tyler Beatty, but I can trust whoever they're going to put back there in the backfield to run behind an experienced group. I like Missouri to cover here, so lay those points.
Digging deep here, Monmouth taking on New Hampshire. What's your pick in this one?
Coach Callahan, the head coach at Monmouth, has been there 30 years. The program is 30 years old. So he started the program, and he's still the head coach. He's done an excellent job building down there on the Jersey Shore. First of all, I don't know how they're not winning recruiting every year where that campus is located. They're located right on the beach. So it's a great place to play. They have a lot of great talent. Quarterback Tony Muskett, great name for a quarterback. Very good defense. Daquan Grimes, outstanding linebacker. So they're playing New Hampshire. New Hampshire is breaking in their new coach, Ricky Santos, who played quarterback there. But I do like Monmouth experience. They're huge up front, 6'7", 6'8", 6'6", and 6'5". They'll run their way to victory against the Wildcats.
Emory, I got to ask you, because I know you're from New Jersey. I know you're from that area over there. How often did you hear about Monmouth, growing up in that area? Was it a big deal? I'm just curious.
Well, I grew up in New Orleans, so I didn't know about Monmouth till I got up here. And when I saw where it was located, I was like, how are they not number one in the country in recruiting? It's almost like Pepperdine being located out there in Malibu. How are you not winning the recruiting battles every year?
Okay. All right. That's interesting. All right. Okay. I'll take that. All right. You got an upset special for us, one we might not see happen, that we want to see happen. What schools are those for you?
Central Michigan is taking on Oklahoma State. And I know a lot of people are looking at Oklahoma State thinking they can make a run, but their quarterback, Spencer Sanders, is super talented, but he's so inconsistent. I don't think a lot of people know about Central Michigan and what they do under Jim McElwain. They dominate at the point of attack. And I know this is about to be weird saying this about Central Michigan. You lose 2 NFL draft picks up front along the offensive line, but their offensive line is still a strength, and they have the Conference Player of the Year and Lou Nichols at running back. So with their ability to run the football, they throw tight ends in there as well. And on defense, they're an excellent point of attack team. I feel like they can give this Oklahoma State squad a lot of problems. So I'm going Central Michigan and the points here with a little bit of a sprinkle on the money line. I do like the Chippewas here against Oklahoma State.
All right, taking CMU against the Cowboys. We'll see how that pans out. You always give us the value picks, but when we're looking at the AP poll, I'm curious, teams in those 11 to 20 range realistically to make the CFP, based on what we've seen in the past, who do you think has the best opportunity when you look at the numbers in the past and based on how making it up to that CFP? What are your thoughts on this?
I love the little names that you threw in there. You was like, how can they make it through the playoff? You look at a team that has an easier path as USC because they play in the Pac-12. So I feel like USC in that 11 to 20 range where we should expect from an offensive output from Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams and Addison, the former Pitt wide receiver, and Dye, the former Oregon running back. They're going to be so explosive on offense, they may outpace the rest of the pack. So I do like USC out of that group to be the dark horse to get to the college football playoff.
All right, give me a realistic pick to make it to the CFP.
LSU to get to the playoffs. That's my underrated pick. I think nobody's talking about LSU, but to get to the championship game, I'm going to go with Alabama and Ohio State. I know so many fans hate chalk, but listen, when you have two of the best rosters in football, it's hard to ignore. Georgia's replacing a lot of people on defense, a lot of NFL draft picks, a lot of first and second round draft picks, but Ohio State, best quarterback, Alabama, best quarterback, adding Jamar Gibbs at running back. I think those two are on a collision course in the national championship game.
All right, Emory Hunt, as always, breaking down the czar of the playbook, man. We'll see you next week. New suit, new day, as always.
I might be around. I might be around.
Just answer your Zoom, answer your phone call. Just saying. All right, appreciate it. So he always got to play games. Always playing games. Hey, don't forget College Pick'em. Play for up to $100,000 in prizes. You might want to get on this. Grab 2 friends, 3 friends, 5. Why not? All you got to do is go to CBS Sports app or cbssports.com/college for this and try to get some of that money. Week 1 is here.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.